Well, it's Veterans Day, and Veterans Day is a little bit different in a lot of ways around Indiana County. And Bob King from the Elks joins us, and he's on the phone with us this morning, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you with us here on the air to talk about Indiana Elks and Veterans Day. That's always a very special connection. I know you do great things, and unfortunately can't do them the way that you'd like to do them this year. So what is the Elks up to?
Okay, well, thank you, first of all, for having the Elks Veteran Services Program aired, and I'm honored to be able to do that. What we have customarily done, as you said, we normally would have the Elks, or the Veterans Breakfast each year. It usually starts about 8 o'clock in the morning on Veterans Day. We've normally serve about 100 veterans at that breakfast, and probably 35 to 40 Elks members participate in making that event happen. And unfortunately, as we all know, this year is quite different, and we are not able to have that breakfast because of the limitations of the COVID virus. But we felt that we wanted to honor veterans, and thank you for having us on the air that we might be able to share what Elks do for veterans, because veterans is a very, very big part of our program, nationally as well as locally.
Mm-hmm. I know that Flag Day is always special with the Elks, and that happens in June. But Veterans Day is so special because so many members of the Elks are vets.
That's correct, yes, yeah. Yeah, we've had the Veterans Breakfast for more than 50 years. And over those years, I would know just how many Elks members have participated in that. But it is an annual event that is thought of very highly in our lodge, and it's unfortunate that we can't do it, this year. But we certainly look forward to getting back to having that breakfast in the years ahead of us.
Bet you it smells like. I bet you right now it would smell like pancakes and syrup and hot coffee at the Elks right now, and lots of bacon too. That's
right. Yeah, there are people that I did want to mention. I can't mention the names of everyone because it would take too long. But suffice it to say, I would like to recognize the people who kind of spearhead and oversee that activity. And Colleen and Tim McGinnis have been largely in charge of seeing that the dining room and all the facilities that honor the veterans when they come in, very patriotic decorations, and they probably have 20, 25 people helping them put that all together. And then Mike Milner, an Elks member, has coordinated the kitchen. So when you talk about the smells of the breakfast, Mike would be responsible for that, and he usually has 15 or more members helping out with that, and they start that event usually about 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's quite an undertaking, but it's one that we look forward to having each year for the veterans.
I know that you also incorporate Boy Scouts into the program, don't you?
That is true. We've had the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts have participated with us. They largely greet the veterans as they come to the building, and they help out in serving and actually help to put things back in order once it's all over. So they're very valuable to our overall function for the Veterans Breakfast. Yeah.
And is there a specific program that is done, presentations, those sorts of things?
You mean for our lodge?
Yeah, for the breakfast
well, what we have done in the past, it's kind of an ongoing project, and you kind of live and learn. And in the past, over the past 10 years, I would say we used to have a speaker. Rodney Ruddick, the retired military officer, was a speaker one year. We've had the commander of the ROTC. We've had other people usually give a brief presentation. But what we've learned is that we try to limit that, and we don't do the speakers anymore. But because people come, they serve the breakfast in the line. When we're working with 100+ people, it takes too long, so we've cut our program back.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to share with you, if you would like me to, some of the programs that the Elks organization has and does annually.
By all means.
Okay. Well, I'd like to divide it into two categories. First of all, at the national level, and this is coordinated by Grand Lodge. We have 4 programs there that I'd like to share briefly with you. It's called the Elks Voluntary Service Program. And this is a program where members work with VA hospitals throughout the nation. And they do all kinds of activities for the veterans in those hospitals. And in fact, our lodge participates with the West Central District twice a year at the Hines Veterans Hospital in Pittsburgh at Christmas time, and again in the summer with a picnic. So we do get involved. I'm not aware that any individual member in our lodge volunteers other than that, mm-hmm. but that's one of the ways that we do it. The other is a Welcome Home project for veterans, and this is a program that primarily focuses upon helping end veterans' homelessness. And then the third program is what we call Freedom Grants, and this is where the National Lodge, the Grand Lodge, can directly give money to the local lodges to serve veterans in our community. And the fourth program at the national level is the Veterans Leather Program. This is kind of interesting, particularly this time of year with hunting season about to start. But what it involves is lodges working with local hunters to gather the hides of deer that can be tanned and eventually turned into gloves that can be used by veterans in therapy programs and for wheelchairs. So that's an interesting program.
Yeah, really is.
Yeah. Then at the local lodge, what we do now, we can be involved in all of those national programs, and to some degree we are. But at the local lodge, of course, we've already talked about our annual breakfast, which we've done. We also deal with a Christmas gifts program. This is a program that, again, is coordinated by usually Colleen McGinnis and Tim McGinnis, but there are usually 20 to 30 Elks members participating in some way to make this program really work. And the committee has identified over 100 veterans throughout the county. And a Christmas gift bag is prepared for each veteran and is delivered to them in usually a couple of weeks before Christmas. This year we had to put that on hold because of the virus, and we're hoping maybe by spring we can do something at Easter time. That's still uncertain. It's still in the thinking stages. Mm-hmm. But it is an annual program. Many people have been involved. There were the last 2 or 3 years, lap quilts have been knitted and crocheted, and the veterans really appreciate them. So it's quite an interesting program, and I believe it was the local hockey team has helped the lodge get those bags all prepared the night before they're delivered to the veterans in the homes.
Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice.
And then the other program that we do is recognition of birthdays. The Elks organization puts a great deal of emphasis on everybody having their birthday recognized, and what we do for veterans is a birthday card with a personalized message is sent to each one. Mm-hmm. And Tim McGinnis has primarily handled that program, for which I'm very appreciative of, and he sees that gets done. And we hope we aren't missing any veterans in that effort.
Yeah.
But those are the local programs that we have done religiously and intend to continue.
Well, it sure sounds like the McGinnises are hard workers, huh?
They are, and it's kind of interesting because when I was asked the last time to to serve as chair of the Veteran Services Committee, I said, well, I will do that, but there's a provision. The McGinnises have to be willing to stay on the committee. And I because they are hardworking and they are very dedicated, and so.
Yeah, well, military negotiation has to be one of your skills then, Bob. I know that as part of the Veterans Day program as well, traditionally, you helped some of the more or less mobile vets get down to the parade after the breakfast as well. There's usually a convoy or two of vehicles that'll get them there so that they can ride in the parade. That's a very special thing for the vets. This annual Veterans Day parade that unfortunately is not going to be held this year.
Yeah, well, that is true. The last 2 years, we have engaged with McGill Motors to secure 2 vans. We do have magnetic signs that go on the sides of them, indicating that it is veterans and Elks Lodge. And what we do is just open the invitation up to. We'll take as many as we can hold in the vans if they'd like to ride in the parade and be a part of that event. And it's been very successful. So we enjoy doing that, and it gives the veterans who would like to participate in that particular event an opportunity to do so.
We're talking with Bob King from the Indiana Elks today. Bob, we've heard that organizations such as yours, the VFW, the American Legion, the various fraternal organizations are struggling a little bit as the vets get older and the younger vets don't join up. I know that it's always a good idea for vets to join organizations such as yours, and I know the doors are always open to them, right?
Oh, absolutely, right. I am no longer the exalted ruler at the lodge. It changed over. Rodney Young is now the exalted ruler, but we've put a great deal of emphasis upon people sponsoring new members, and we have a lot of younger people joining. People, I think, they join it for various reasons, but one of the major emphasis we place is that we're a very patriotic fraternal organization. You mentioned the Flag Day ceremony earlier, and of course the veterans programs that we engage in. And we place a great deal of emphasis upon these 2 programs, and we are recruiting members to get involved, and a lot of people just volunteer. So we have not. I can't honestly say that we've had any struggle getting veterans in, and I think the willingness to participate in the various events that we have in the lodge, of course, is directly associated with the manner in which they feel that they've been accepted in the lodge, and the urging of individual members of the lodge to encourage new people and new members to become involved in the various activities. So,
well, that is wonderful news. That's good to hear. Bob King, the Indiana Elks, it is Veterans Day. We wish the best to you and everybody involved in the organization because you're one of those vital ones out there. Appreciate your time with us this morning as well.
Thank you very much. It was great to be here. And remember, I'd like to leave with the idea that we do have a motto in the Elks organization that we remember veterans. And that motto is, so long as there are veterans, the benevolent and protective order of Elks will never forget them.
Well,
and I thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Elks Lodge and its members, and we'll try to enjoy a rainy day honoring our veterans.
All right, Bob. Thanks for being with us.